So to begin this, I went to Fry's grocery store, and starting in the vegetable aisle, I got tomato, I got yellow squash, zucchini, carrots, eggplant, cucumber, lettuce, onion, and garlic. And then for the ingredient from American culture, I got avocado because Americans eat a lot of avocados. So that's all for the vegetables. Now I'm about to check out at the grocery store, and added after the vegetable aisle, I have linguine and tomato sauce and shrimp and feta, and then I have a bunch of spices right here, and then I have tomato sauce, diced tomatoes, Parmesan cheese, and yep, and that's all the ingredients that I need for my meal. Okay, so we're currently in the process of cooking. Right here we're having our shrimp that's rich in omega-3 fatty acids, as chapter 18 teaches us, and other chapters, but I'm citing chapter 18. And then also in here there's garlic, which is widely used in Italian food, and it's talked about in chapter 16 in the Mediterranean way of eating. By Anderson and Sparling. And then the pasta is going right now, which is like used in a lot of Italian meals. And then not seeing that under here we have vegetables roasting that are going to have other stuff added to them later. And then in here is our salad that has garbanzo beans, which are legumes, which are widely used in Italian food as a source of protein, as stated in chapter 18. And I'll talk more about other stuff once it's all finished. But yep, so this is in the process of cooking. So yep, on more later. Done. Okay, so now the food is all cooked, and for the first dish, it's a salad, and it's kind of hard to see, but you can see right there, there's garbanzo beans in it, because legumes, like I said, as chapter 18 says, like, they're a good source of protein, and they're eaten a lot in the Mediterranean diet, that and other kinds of beans, but these are what I chose. And then also in this salad, there's avocado, which is what I chose to add as an ingredient from our culture, because as you know, avocados are super like popular in America. And then it also has tomatoes, which is a super popular dish in the Mediterranean and Italian diets, and is consumed at pretty much every meal. Along with like all these vegetables. There's cucumbers that are also kind of hidden because leafy greens give you folic acid, as is seen in, I think it's chapter 15 of A Mediterranean Way of Eating, written by Anderson and Sparling. Next up, we have roasted vegetables that we made, and they have garlic on them, which is used in many Mediterranean meals, and they also were cooked with olive oil, which is what most Italians use for cooking because it's a healthy type of fat and far healthier than other types of oils. And then it also has Parmesan cheese, which is popular there and a good source of dairy. And it's made with zucchini and yellow squash and carrot and eggplant. And then it also has rosemary added on top of it, but yeah, so it has the garlic and the olive oil that are super popular in the Mediterranean meals. And then here we have our sauce for our pasta, which is made with diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, which is tomatoes and tomato sauce are eaten at pretty much every meal, like I said already. And then it also has like basil in it, a lot of spices, garlic, again, onion, and yeah, it has the shrimp in it because fish is the main kind of meat eaten by Italians because it has a lot of omega-3 fatty acids, which are really good for you. So that's why I chose to use them as the main protein in this. And then finally we have pasta to put the sauce on, which again is used pretty much in every Italian meal. And Italians eat pasta, like grains are the bottom of their food pyramid, and they eat it with pretty much every meal. And then finally, we're eating it with wine because it has all the phytochemicals, and Italians drink wine with pretty much every meal to complement the flavor. So yeah, and I'll show one more as we're all sitting down with our food, about to eat it. Okay. Okay, and then for the final part, I don't actually own a table in my apartment because I live in a studio, so we're eating it on my couch. But this is my friend Alex and my friend Sam, who came over and helped me with the meal, and they're now eating it. And as you can see, this is how it turned out. Well, she hid her vegetables under her pasta, but then there's the salad. That one, you can see the vegetables on the side, salad. And so that's how the meal turned out, and now we're gonna enjoy some conversation and bond together over the meal. Okay, so this is kind of just an add-on after my meal because obviously when I was cooking and in the kitchen, it was a little like hectic, and I don't think that I got like time to talk about all the points I wanted to talk about properly, but I think it showed what I made really well and kind of like talked about the ingredients like as I was making it, but I just wanted to add something so I know like everything's there. And so the first course that I made was a Mediterranean style salad. So it consisted of lettuce, garbanzo beans, which are legumes, like I said, that are super popular because they're high in protein, as we saw in chapter 18 of the Mediterranean way of eating, chronic disease prevention, and obesity by Anderson and Sparling. And they're a really good source of protein, but they're also really healthy, so that's why they're popular in the diet. And it also had tomatoes, which are super popular, but I'll talk about that in a second. And then my second course was roasted vegetables, and because Italian-based diets are really like plant-based, and like obviously vegetables are plants, so I used eggplant in it, and carrot, and summer squash, and zucchini. And in it I put garlic and olive oil, which are used a lot in Italy, because olive oil, again, in the book by Anderson and Sparling, they talk about how their olive oil is like really heavy in monosaturated like fatty acids, which are like a really like healthy kind of fat, so it's used in almost all the cooking. And garlic is like a spice, makes it really like flavorful. It's also really good for you. And then I added Parmesan cheese on top of it because it tastes good. And then finally I made a pasta because pasta is eaten a lot in Italy, almost like every day. And in it I made a homemade sauce, so I used petite diced tomatoes, tomato sauce, and then I added spices like oregano and basil and fresh parsley. And like I said, tomatoes, like I was going to bring them up, and that is in chapter 2 of the same book by Anderson and Sparling. They mention that tomatoes and tomato sauce are used in like the Italian diet every single day and pretty much like every single meal, and it's part of their daily fare, and it's full of nutrients. It has a lot of like vitamin C, other stuff, the micromolecules, water, just really good for you. And then I added shrimp to it because in like the coastal regions more of Italy, but still like a lot of Italy, they use fish like more as their main source of protein because it's high in omega-3 fatty acids, so again it's more healthy than red meat. So I decided to add shrimp in there and get like some of like the fish and coastal like vibes to my Mediterranean meal. And I think that grocery shopping like wasn't really like an experience because I do that a lot, and I went to my local Fry's, so it wasn't like really like me connecting with other people, but it was really nice to like sit down and like have my friends over, and they like helped me cook, and then we got to eat it together, and it was really nice because like I got to spend time like bonding with them and like getting like hanging out with them, but like got to do it with food, and it was actually really fun like cooking with them and then like sitting down. And I also had red wine to finish the meal because as the book by like Lolli and Serianni, The Alcohol in Italian Culture, they say that that wine is still pretty much an everyday, is consumed pretty much every day in Italian culture. A little less nowadays, but it's still consumed like with most meals. So I added that in to drink with it to like complement the taste and just to make it more Mediterranean.